All right, so let us move to our final segment. We're going to give out our big bet or our bold take for the week. XJ, I will start with you. What is the big bet or the bold take you are willing to give out on wax to be thrown in your face forever if it goes wrong for this week?
So last week, speaking of forever, last week I hit or nearly hit on my bold prediction. I said Quentin Grimes would drop 20 points, including 5 made threes. And the very next day, he dropped 17 with 5 made threes. I will say, though, obviously it wasn't the breakout I expected because I thought it would lead to more positive progress for him. And he kind of just went back in his shell after that, despite, a decent, okay 8-point game versus San Antonio. However, this week, I'm going bolder. I'm going way bolder. The Knicks are going to run the Celtics off of the TD Bank Arena floor next Monday. I'm expecting a big IQ game. I'm expecting to be skipping all over the Toronto Dominion Bank Arena and Beantown. And by the way, if there are Celtics fans listening to this, I'm never going to call your arena the Garden, ever. For the rest of my life, I will never call it the Garden.
It's the TD Jake Center until otherwise noted.
It's the TD Bank. Listen, y'all literally had to raffle off your naming rights for a few dollars. Like you sold the name the Garden for a few dollars. You're like a foreclosed house. The bank owns you now. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like
the literal bank,
the literal bank, the literal, not any bank, a literal bank. And also I want to say this, guess how many NBA arenas are not named after a corporate sponsor? You guys want to guess? A single one arena, Madison Square Garden, the only Garden. So Boston, pay your respects, your scrubs. Anyway, my prediction is that the Knicks are smoking the best team in the NBA. The Boston Celtics on Monday. We're going to see a little more Hartenstein to deal with Porzingis on the perimeter. We're going to see Quickly take over when he's in the game. And I just believe we're going to see a big run late in the game when Quickly, DiVincenzo, Hart, RJ, Hartenstein, when that lineup is out there, that is where we're going to see the run because you can hurt Boston by 1, by forcing turnovers, by 2, by beating them on the glass, and 3, getting their bench and getting to their bench when their bench is in. And I think that lineup against their bench is going to run them off the court. All we need is the starters to hold serve long enough. And I think they're going to do that. And I think we're going to smoke the Boston Celtics on Monday. That's my big prediction.
I love it. You can go ahead, John.
It's a bold prediction. And honestly, I think, listen, again, we were up 6 with 3 minutes left in that season opener at home. And that was with Julius and Jalen couldn't throw it into the ocean. So, like, again, I like to see how we deal with the Kristaps problem. But listen, if shout out to Fred Katz, who had said, like, if Julius Randle had just been 2021, 2022 Julius Randle the last couple games, that would have been fine. So we get, like, if that Randle shows up against Boston next week, then I feel confident in your bet. Mensa, what is your big, bold bet for the next few weeks that will be on wax to be thrown in your face by haters and the non-KFS casuals on the internet if it goes wrong?
All right, here we go. So we are not back recording a Casual Friday. The next Casual Friday, I should say, is going to air on December 7th. So that gives me a lot of time, which means I got to be as bold as I want to be. So here's what we're doing. All 3 of Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett will score 30 points in the game individually. They may not happen in the same game. And I'll go a step further. RJ Barrett, by the time we are next recording a Casual Friday, will have put up 40 points in a basketball game. I'm all the way in. I am all the way in. We play teams like Charlotte. We play teams like Washington. I just had the schedule up. Let me just run it. A couple teams that I think we can do work against. We got, I think on Black Friday, we got the Heat. If Tyler Hero's back by then, that's the game that I am circling for RJ Barrett to drop that 40.
Wrong game for him to come back to.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Not for me.
That is, listen, I'm really happy with these guys. I think they're playing really well. I kind of want to throw Quick in there. I think Quick can score 30, but it's kind of, I'm not too sure with him and Tom Thibodeau with the minutes right now. But I know that Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle are absolutely going to get minutes, and a lot of them. And I'm expecting each of them to have at least a 30-point game. And I'm expecting RJ to have scored 40 points by the next time we're recording a Casual Friday.
I mean, that's a bold take. It's definitely a feasible take. So, I mean, and obviously I'm never going to tell Mensa that he's being too bold. I'll never, that dude knows what he's talking about. But like you're right. Hornets twice, Pistons, Miami, who I don't think is that serious this year. I could see it.
Wizards.
Hawks. I missed the Wizards. Oh yeah, you're right. They play the Wizards on Friday the 17th. Yeah, that's a lot of opportunities. So good take.
Listen, barbecue chicken might be served on it might be turkey on Thursday, barbecue chicken on Black Friday.
Barbecue chicken on Friday, yes, sir.
Because we know, I remember when RJ dropped 46 on the Heat the last time, and I forget who said it. It might have been you, Mensa, but it was someone said Hero's running screens to get away from RJ, but RJ's running screens to find Hero. Levels. All right, so my bold prediction was that RJ Barrett was going to be Eastern Conference Player of the Week. But since we have some time between here and the next Casual Friday podcast, I'm going to go a little bit bolder. And my bold prediction that can be thrown in my face if it blows up, that I'm putting on wax, is that the New York Knicks will be the East wild card team in the in-season tournament and make the semifinals and go to Vegas. You already heard me on wax say that I think the Knicks are going to win the in-season tournament because we have a coach that wants to win every game. Now, part of that analysis was based on the fact that I didn't think the Bucks would give a rat's ass about the in-season tournament. And had I known RJ Barrett was not going to play and that Julius will play like a two-pack of ass, that maybe I would have taken a step back. But you know what? As the kids say, we stand on business over here. So I'm sticking with my prediction. And I'm looking at the standings now. So for those who don't know how it works, the in-season tournament, there's 3 groups in each conference. Each group winner, so that's 6 group winners, 3 in the East, 3 in the West. They go to semifinals. And then the best second place team across the entire conference is the wild card team. And right now, the wild card team is the Milwaukee Bucks, who are 1-0, but everyone else is 0-1, including then it's Chicago, because the second tiebreak, the first tiebreaker is head to head. The second tiebreaker is point differential. So Milwaukee's 1-0. Then it's Chicago has a point differential of -2, Cleveland -5, and the Knicks -5. So they're actually tied for 6. Now, the next 3 in-season tournament games are, they played, as Mensa pointed out, they play the Wizards, they play the Heat, and they play the Hornets. So it's very feasible for them to win all 3 of those games. And if they win all 3 of those games, and if they take care of business, and if they put the Wizards in the dirt, because they're going to be the worst team in the NBA at 12-70, you heard it here first, they have a really, really good shot of being in the in-season tournament, of getting to the semifinals of the in-season tournament. All right. And with that is Casual Friday for this Friday. Again, as Mensa said earlier, we'll be taking a couple weeks off. One of those weeks being Thanksgiving. So please spend some time with your families, even if you don't want to. If you don't want to, go watch football. But before we get out of here, anything at Mensa Extra, anything you guys want to throw out before we wrap up with some announcements?
Nah, I think we said it all.
I think I got all my takes off. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season. Looking forward. I mean, when we come back for the next Casual Friday, I think the Knicks are going to be riding high. So I'm just excited to see you all then. I think we're going to be on top.
Okay. All right. Well, a couple of announcements. So first of all, so you're listening to this on a Friday. So today at 3 p.m. will be KFS Study Hall. With myself, I'll be riding solo. I may be riding solo. We'll see if schedules work out. But 3 p.m. on Friday afternoon, you can check us out on Study Hall. Also, there will be a new Patreon pod. It'll be the first power rankings of the season. That'll be available for everyone on the mellow tier or higher. That'll be with John and GMAC. So be sure to check that out if you're a patron. If you're not a patron, why aren't you a patron? You need to sign up and become a patron. It is $7. The minimum is $7 a month. That is, you probably spend more on that on bacon, egg, and cheese in a week. So make sure you should go out and become a patron of KFS. If you like what you hear now, all the cool stuff that you get all the cool stuff you get as a patron is more worth it. Also, want to send a big shout out.
One of the cool things you get.
For those who are watching, for those who are watching on YouTube, you can see the cool shirt that Menta has on. It says IQ. That shirt was for, I believe, our Monroe tier and up, or our Ewing tier. One of those tiers got the shirt. That's the reason why you should get this shirt. So clearly, right then and there, that paid for the shirt right there. The seventh with your fees. Ewing tier, excuse me. The Ewing tier, you get a free shirt. And listen, it's a good trade-off. Next to last, I want to give a big happy birthday shout out to APJP.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday, my boy.
Sir. He has the night off tonight, so GMAC stepping in, but big up to you. Make sure you enjoy your birthday. Listen, man, as a wise man once said, the only thing worse than getting older is not getting any older, so make sure you enjoy your birthdays. That's one of them. And hope you see many, many, many more. Last thing I want to say before you get out of here, you're listening to this on this came out on November 10th, which is Veterans Day observed. The next day, that is actual Veterans Day, November 11th. Veterans Day started as Armistice Day because that was the day that they signed a treaty to end World War I on the 11th hour, the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, I believe. And while support of our uniformed officers, whether they're civilian or military, has been overly politicized in the last couple of years, anyone who puts on a uniform stands a post and to serve in a line of duty abroad for our military as a level of bravery that is way above mine and a level of respect I have for them. So to all of our veterans, living and deceased, including my uncle, Lance Corporal Denzel Brown, deceased, we salute you. We say thank you to you. And we appreciate and respect what you have done and the choices that you have made and the bravery that you have put on to protect every last one of us. So again, for those who, again, it is not about being political. It is about those who choose to sacrifice and put their lives on the line. That's a decision that many of us could never, ever, ever, ever make. And so we respect you for that. So for XJ, for Mensa, my name is Sean for W. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Knicks Nation, let's ride.